One of our founders said the other day, I'm AI exhausted.
Yeah. As he was talking, I was plugged in into Claude, just like took his website and it just said, make this amazing. And I sent it to him and like, hey, this took 7 minutes and 27 seconds. So like easiest sell ever, because he's just like, all right, the crazy part is I've just done this website like 2 weeks ago and I paid like way too much money for it.
I'm super excited today to have the one and the only Michael Batko. Over 15 years in the startup community, built Startmate and really took it to the leading accelerator across Australia. Recently left and now set up Hourglass AI and really helping companies transition into this AI frontier. And we're going to go through the show and really learn about what it is to go through AI transformation and what do you need to do to make your business an AI first business in many ways. Michael, thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us.
Excited.
It's great to have you here.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. Where would you like to start?
The beauty of what I do now is literally I get paid to go into customers and ask them all the problems and then implement AI for them. So what I'm going to do today is give you the whole playbook of how you can actually do that for your business. And that's kind of like the beauty of the framework, which I'm going to hand you in 5 different parts. And we're going to go literally step by step. And it's not just a little toy that you can set up and forget and it doesn't actually give you any value, but I actually want to give you the real infrastructure or like how you make your business AI native. And that's going to be the fun part today.
I can't wait.
Core part of it also is like that most businesses are literally stuck at stage 1. So I'll talk you through all the different stages here. Again, it's not about just setting up some fancy agents or workflows here. It literally is the entire system. So let's dive into it.
Okay. We're in your hands.
Cool. Roadmap for today is essentially 5 things here. The first one is I'm going to talk about the AI brain. It's like the whole infrastructure layer for AI. Second part is the ladder itself. Like how do you actually in 4 steps get your business to be AI native? And the third one then is once you've got that is that hiring decision of just like, should I be automating? Should I be, how should I be thinking about my team? The fourth one is actually you as a founder, like creating your stack and really driving that AI adoption. And the fifth one is speed. All that speed, actually getting in there. What can AI do for you? And most people always go right into building workflows and so on. Just never works, always breaks down. So that's why those 5 steps are actually really important.
Okay. Now, should we write these down?
Yeah. So in my handwriting. It's like, okay. So, all right. Number 1, we've got the brain. Yeah. Then we're going to go with the ladder. There's going to be 4 stages in there. The third one is going to be essentially like a people question. The fourth one is going to be all about the founder, essentially, like your stack. Oh wow, my handwriting, hey?
I think it's good.
And then the fifth one is going to be all about speed. So we're going to be going through them one by one.
Okay, awesome. Let's do it.
Cool. So number 1, the brain. So everyone runs the business on those like little workflows and plugs in stuff. But the problem is you then always start everything fresh from zero because all those agents just don't plug into a whole infrastructure. So the whole point is now you essentially can recreate that as like a whole infrastructure and framework in your own business. What actually is it? It honestly sounds way more complicated than what it actually is. It's really just a structured tree of plain text markdown files. Markdown files are also just like MD files. People always get scared of them. It's literally just a text file. It's like the simplest possible format. You structure it like a tree. Your entire organization essentially becomes AI native because you can plug into the context incredibly well.
And what are you plugging all that content into?
You then can pretty much do anything on top of that. So for example, the easiest example I can give you is Claude or ChatGPT. You've got those little connectors, MCPs, right? Where you connect it to Notion or whatever. You can literally create yourself a little MCP, which is like your AI brain. And you just plug into every single thing that you've ever said, your tone of voice, your brand, your emails. And you just have all of your context right there. There's like just one tiny little use case.
Yeah, so exciting.
So, but scale it across the organization, that's exciting because then you can literally have the entire business context right there accessible for anyone. Your finances, your dashboards, your board decks, whatever else you want.
It's really funny because we at Innovation Bay, we've just launched an AI brain.
So
we put all of our podcasts over the last, I think we've got 300 podcasts, all of the workshop sessions that we've run over the last 5 or 6 years, a whole bunch of other content into this AI engine that one of our founders, one of our community members have built for us.
Amazing.
And now we can just reference it to at any time. And it's incredible the content that's coming from it.
Yeah, it's unreal. So like that's the point of just like you almost create the business content once, you keep feeding it and literally like anyone in the organization gets empowered to just create whatever they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, it sounds way more scary than it is. In theory, it's really just a structured tree of markdown files, which all hang together. And the easiest way to start is really just like get one person in there, document one workflow, get their kind of like brain essentially distilled down. If anybody just wanted to get started, actually Gary Tan, the president of Y Combinator, has got a great open source GBrain out there. You can just like plug this straight into your Claude, say, take the best things out of it and just get me going. It's intended for use of one person, but you totally could just plug in a whole company into that as well.
It's a great tip right off the bat.
No, honestly, it's actually a great starting point. Yeah, so rather than recreating something from scratch, you just take it from there.
And do you always find there's one person in the organization becomes the champion?
I always start that way, and that is actually like when we're gonna come to number 4, where it's like that champion actually should be the founder, because it's so easy to just tell other people to be champions. But yeah, totally. Some people get way more excited about this than others.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Should we keep moving?
But the beauty is now, like literally with every single call, every single email, every single meeting you're gonna have is right in there, and you can just build dashboards, reporting, board decks, brand stuff, marketing stuff, sales stuff on top of it, and it just has the full business context.
Is there any concern about how much content you plug into here from a security or a privacy point of view? Do you ever find that?
Yeah, good one. Like, I mean, the one consideration that we have all the time is like not everybody in the organization should see all of the information. Yeah. Like, for example, salaries is a classic one. So you do need to think about like, all right, cool, what am I actually plugging in and who's got access to it? Yeah, okay. So this is where it gets a little more complex. But for a starting point, just like plug in actually what everybody needs to see and use. Yeah. Okay.
So tip 1, use Claude or whatever platform you're using, and then connect it to your business and what are the systems you're using so you can aggregate all your content into it.
That's right. Yeah. But actually like the layer, how you structure it is the important part with the brain of just like actually putting it all together and then being able to plug in the rest of the organization.
And what's the key with the layering, do you think?
Key of the layering, there's not necessarily like a good or a bad really. It's really just on the organization. Honestly, easiest thing you can do is just ask Claude, being like, hey, based on all the information, structure it well. Or even better, have a look at all the things I've asked you in the last 30 days and structure it based on that. Like, how could it have been better? Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, number 2 is the ladder. So this is where organizations always get stuck, or like most organizations really are always at stage 1. Stage 1 is the one of essentially you use ChatGPT, you've got a couple of power users, you always start from scratch because every single query is a new query. The second part is when you start creating workflows. So orchestration is you now buy a bunch of agents, a bit of software, you build a couple of workflows, but again, like there's actually no infrastructure, no layer, no brain to actually like keep writing things back into. Number 3 then is actually when those workflows keep writing back into the brain and learning about the organization, and you don't start from scratch anymore. And number 4 is kind of where you become AI native, where you can truly then rely on the agents of like, right, cool, you do the stuff that I don't have to anymore. Right. And now I get to focus on the people stuff, which is the fun part.
I feel like we've just gone through this hype cycle of OpenClaw and everyone trying to build agents and OpenClaw. It's not that easy, right? At the end of the day. So when we talk about workflows, what are we really talking about?
Oh, totally. Like, I mean, the best example I can give you is probably my favorite workflows. Like my favorite one literally is just the simplest one, which is at the end of each meeting, because they're AI recorded, instead of me just sitting down thinking what was actually said and then writing for 50 minutes in emails, I literally have like an automation, a workflow just being triggered with the full context, pre-drafted email in my voice, and I edit it and shoot it off. And like way better context, way better voice, and me just adjusting it a little bit. Any link that I promised you, any article that I promised you are automatically found already in there, so I don't have to go looking for it.
And you're using that with Claude? Is that?
Yeah, so like that is literally just a Claude. Like it's just an automation. Literally everything I just said, just take this transcript and copy paste it into Claude, and they will literally create that workflow for you. There's probably like 3 ways to do that as well. Like you can essentially have it based on time trigger. So for example, every hour, have a look if I've got a meeting and trigger it. Or you can have it based on your granola or fireflies, being like, hey, once that meeting is over, get it triggered. Or you just have it human triggered as well. It's like, hey, I just finished this meeting, do this kind of workflow for me. Yeah. So that's like a super simple workflow. I can tell you about hundreds here, but the whole point though is like, that's almost like just step number 1. Like the whole point is like have an infrastructure layer for your company where things keep going back in, so it actually keeps getting better.
Okay.
So I'll actually give you one more example here, which is I was building those workflows for like a couple of weeks, and then I literally just asked Claude, being like, "Hey, give me feedback. Like, what could I have done better?" And it just literally gave me this light bulb moment. It was like, "What the hell? Like, how did I not think about that?" And it was literally just the one of like, "Well, you've built all those workflows, but you don't know if they're getting better." I'm just like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Yeah, just give me a learning loop." So I built itself a second agent, which essentially every time it pre-drafts an email for me, it then monitors, did I send an email? Did I edit an email, or did I just ignore it? And those are free signals where it literally then learns, being like, all right, let's keep adjusting that, being like, why didn't you send it? Or if you adjusted it and edited it, let's make that better. And that was like just a perfect way to actually like keep improving workflows. And this is what I mean with the AI brain. You actually keep making it better, and it keeps learning.
Yeah. With the creation of agents, again, I noticed that you can do that now in Claude pretty much. You don't need to use OpenClaw anymore.
No.
Okay.
Well, so OpenClaw and Claude are quite different in that sense. So like, honestly, my recommendation is just the one of use one thing and do it well.
Okay.
Like whatever it is. OpenClaw is great on your phone, and you've got full context and everything in one place, and it always keeps going. It doesn't go to sleep, let's say it that way. Claude essentially is always kind of only works when your laptop's open. That's maybe the easiest way to explain it.
And you got to keep paying for it though with OpenClaw, don't you? You got to keep putting tokens in all the time. So it's kind of that scenario where you're topping up, but it's a usage scenario. Right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, great. All right. Should we go to step 3?
Yes. So now the interesting one is you've got a company brain. You've gone up that ladder of the 4 things that I've mentioned. Now the next one is the kind of automation versus people. Like the beauty of AI is now you just can free up lots of time. But what are you going to do with that? Like if you just free up time, you're still going to pay the same money to your team, or you're obviously going to fire a team, but nobody likes that. The question now really becomes the one of like, all right, if I automate a bunch of stuff out of your day, what should you and what could you be spending time on? And this is actually where the decision becomes really interesting, because like you should be spending way more time on essentially this stuff that only humans can do. The easiest way to split it really is to look at your job and go, all right, what's the machine work, which is repetitive, rules-based, and just boring? And what is the human part, which is judgment, taste, and relationships? And like you should absolutely automate all of that machine part, but then actually be like, all right, cool, if I do that, can you actually increase the human side of things? Because otherwise you do go essentially into job cutting itself.
It's interesting, right? Because one of our founders said the other day, I'm AI exhausted.
Yeah.
And I think that's because, they had automated a lot of the mundane things and they were focusing all their time on the creative, challenging side of things. And they were realizing they were spending a lot more time on that and it was almost like draining them. So I wonder how, I guess we're still working this out.
Yeah.
How do you balance those 2 competing scenarios?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's 2 parts there actually. The first one where usually people always get burnt out is actually because they've set up so many agents and workflows that they then constantly keep firefighting them. And there's like they break and you fix them, and then they've got 10 different sessions going, and the context switch between all of them is just like super annoying. And it's usually where people are just like, I'm essentially as busy as I've ever been, but I'm actually not progressing anywhere. And then to your part of just like, if you do manage to get rid of all of your admin, hopefully the creative part of the job is what you enjoy, but it's also the hard part, of course, because like what we then do as humans, or what we should be doing as humans, is actually judgment and decisions. But we also have a very real kind of like decision fatigue. There's a whole like psychological case studies out there of just like how many decisions a day can you do. And by the time the evening comes around, you almost don't want to be like, what do you want for dinner? I don't care, because you made so many decisions already. Yeah. So that's an interesting question though. Like, and then, but that's one question around prioritization of just like, what are actually the 3 most important things for you to do today and this week, and focus on that.
Okay, that's a
whole other topic.
But that's a good way to think about it, isn't it? Like, what can I automate? Like, what are the things I don't enjoy doing?
Yes.
That's the areas to focus AI on, or agents on. And what are the things I really love doing? The things that are complex, challenging, and are going to drive me a little bit more. And then how do I focus more time on that?
Yes, and I love that. And to be fair, I would put another lens on there, which is the things that you love doing. Also think about just like, well, how can AI make them even better? How can it actually make
improve
those workflows as well for you.
Sure. Maybe multi-stage on how you do that.
So,
okay, awesome. And we're definitely seeing, I think there was a lot of hype around there's going to be a huge amount of redundancies, they're going to be 3 people organizations, but what we're seeing is a lot of automation, a lot of people just using it to augment what they're doing and to help them be better at what they're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the bad way to think about it is AI comes in, reduces the admin, you cut a bunch of jobs, but then what are you going to do as a business? You're still going to have essentially the same output. Sure, you're going to have less expenses, but your business didn't really progress.
Yeah.
Instead, you can put in the AI, you save everybody time, and those people get to redeploy the time into actually adding more value to the business.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
That's really the way you want to think about this part here.
That is awesome. Okay, let's keep going.
Cool. Step 4. Yeah, so this is probably the next one of so often it's the board which tells you, hey, you need AI. And so many businesses come to me because the board told them they need AI. And then the founder goes like to the team, you need AI. And they started essentially telling them to implement it. But if you don't, as a founder, don't actually get the use out of AI, you can't really delegate to other people to do it. You almost need to use it first and use it incredibly well before you tell your team. So that is almost my next tip here, which is like throw yourself in there, build yourself the agents and the workflows that actually add value to your day-to-day. And that will be so much more powerful because then you can truly like tell your team of just like, all right, this is the way to do it.
Awesome.
And it's very simple that way. The other part I'll probably say in here is everybody gets way too excited. And everybody is like, once you build an agent in a workflow, they build themselves 50. And what happens? They all break. And then you, again, like back in this firefighting stage and like not being productive. So the tip here is really just the one of like, start with 1, create yourself 3, and just make them incredible. Every single day you use them, they save you so much time. And I can guarantee you, like once you love them, you will literally tell everybody about them all the time. And you need to become the champion yourself before you actually hand it to your team.
Yeah, awesome. Do you also find that now there's this layer above OpenAI, Anthropic, the LLMs that are doing almost like agents? We're using one at the moment called Town Assist, and it's fantastic. It's an assistant you can use multiple different LLMs when it needs to. You don't need to program it. It's just, as a platform almost. Are you seeing more of that coming?
Totally. I mean, the problem there is like you go on Twitter, you go on LinkedIn, and there's a billion platforms out there, right? So it's again like the decision fatigue of like, who do you even go with? Like, and they're all amazing, and I'm sure they are. But this is also where the question comes up: should I ask ChatGPT or Claude this agent tool, this agent tool? So this is back to my tip of just like use one thing, do it well.
Do you have one thing that you love?
Claude. And seriously, like then you just build everything on it, and you just don't have to even taking the decision away from me, which is like, should I be using the software, already helps me because I'm just like, by default, no, just let me build it in Claude.
Awesome. Okay.
Because you build it yourself, you understand it, you know when it's broken, and you can fix it as well.
Okay. Let's go. Last point.
Last point is speed. Everyone always thinks about AI as essentially cost cutting, and that's really just like the boring 10%. The beauty is actually that now with AI, it can be so much more effective and efficient. And just think about how it can hyper customize your journey as a founder to your customers, and just the way you work. So I'll give you an example actually, which was a really fun one. I jumped on a client call. It was a recruiter who wanted his website redone. And it was a 30-minute call. He told me all about it. He told me in like minute 10, as he was talking, I was plugged into Claude, just like took his website and literally just said, make this amazing. It was like the shortest prompt ever. Whilst he was talking, literally like 5 minutes later, it finished. It was already live, just jumped straight on the URL. And I sent it to him and like, hey, this took 7 minutes and 27 seconds. So like easiest sell ever, because he's just like, all right, the crazy part is I've just done this website like 2 weeks ago and I've paid like way too much money for it. I'm just like, that is wild.
That is wild.
Because so the point is with AI is like just lean into the speed, do it and rethink your processes. Like what is taking you forever? And that is actually just become such a superpower as a founder, as an employee, and like just wowing customers of like how quickly you can get 80% of the way. And just even like prototype, MVP.
Do you find like sometimes it's us, the mindset is the restriction to that speed? So, how do you change that mindset?
Totally. All the time. I ask myself all the time the question of just like, what what is a great customer experience, and don't think in traditional ways of just genuinely just like what would be the best thing to happen to them. And the example I can give you here is maybe the one of like, why do we build, for example, websites the way we do, right? Like we essentially have one website. We then build maybe 100 landing pages based on the meta ad campaigns that we have based on the categories. But that's kind of like why, because website builds actually was really difficult, is really difficult. Whereas with AI, you can literally just like, if I know who you are, I can literally just like live serve you their website specifically on you. So the example I've got for you here is, I asked myself the question just like 3-4 days ago. And if you jump on thehourglass.ai, which is the company that I'm running, I literally was like, all right, cool. Can I actually make this happen here? What's the simplest possible lead generator I can possibly do, which is literally like typing in your email address and your website. And what it does then is based on your website, understands who you are, what you care about, and just generates your full AI roadmap specifically to your needs. Wow. And it's just like, yeah, why wouldn't you do that? Like previously it was impossible to like hyper customize, whereas now speed, as well as just like exactly to the needs and the problems that you have, just so much faster. So you can apply that thinking to like everything you do.
Wow, it's amazing. Before we go through this and create a synopsis around this, because we'll go back, there's so much great content here. I got to ask, what do you think the next 6 to 12 months is going to be?
Honestly, I feel like things are moving way too slow. Like I think, like on the one side, they're way too fast because everybody feels behind. Yeah. Like you look at the way other people use AI, and I feel behind, even though I spent way too much time on it as well. And everybody always thinks like everybody's going to run ahead of them and so on. Whereas I genuinely think like change is difficult. If anything, it's actually people change and change management. Maybe I'm the pessimist here, but I think it will move slower than we expect. Right. That being said, AI is actually just like in terms of output and outcome, just like improving exponentially. So like the speed and the quality. So I don't think there's rocket science there, but maybe my prediction itself is just like, the harder thing in businesses is actually changing people's processes and systems and the way they think, and they're almost like being scared of AI, and that's going to take quite a few years.
The mindset, so embrace it. Okay, this has been amazing, Michael. So let's start and go through it really quickly. Yeah. So we can create a synopsis. So the first thing is create that AI brand for your business.
Yep.
Yeah. Use whatever platform you want to, whatever you feel comfortable with. Whatever
you feel comfortable with. You essentially distill your whole business into MD files, text files, and keep updating it.
Yeah. And then create those workflows.
Create those workflows is then on the ladder itself. So you essentially like create the first few workflows. Those workflows keep writing back into the brain, and that's when you're essentially at like level 3 of this ladder. And level 4 is when you start making those people decisions then of just like, all right, cool, I've automated a bunch of things, it actually works, so now what should my people essentially be spending time on? And this is also where, as a founder, you then really want to lead and be the champion of it, like see what I've essentially done with AI, and then you truly understand it, tell your team, and to help your team essentially get on the journey. And then once your systems are automated and your team actually spends time on the valuable things, you can think about it like speed, and in particular speed to customers, of just like, how can you wow them, make them incredible experience, and just move so much faster than you previously could.
I'm excited. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this wisdom with us. We really appreciate it, mate. And this is what we're all about as a community. So fantastic.
Yeah, fun journey.